Hello. We are here now, very honored to have Raffaello Napoleone, the CEO of Pitti Bimbo, here at our booth. It's very good to be here again. Compared to the January edition, this has changed quite a bit. It's very colorful and a new layout at certain places, and new labels and new brands are here too. This is the 85th edition of Pitti Bimbo. How do you manage? How do you come up with new ideas? How do you make sure that it doesn't become kind of stale and repetitive? Well, how do you do that?
In fact, the real secret about this success impact of our trade show is that we continue to enjoy ourselves in doing what we do. First, we are very curious, and we are also passing through difficult economical moments.
Yes.
And so we are forced, we have to look for something new to offer to the market, the exhibitors, the visitors, and to the press.
Yeah.
In the trade show business, if you don't try to be faster than the market, you risk to be not exactly what people expect from you.
Yeah. So this must have repercussions internally. So you must have a team that comes from different walks of life, I understand, in order to create an interesting discussion internally and to produce ideas. Is that so?
We are very lucky because the rules, internal rules we have that has been decided decades ago,
yes,
are very clever, because in fact we involve exhibitors, distributors, agents, representatives, members of buying offices, to decide together which would be the right line, the right direction to take season after season. So we have direct impressions, direct suggestions about what the market is looking for and what each of these person is expecting for Pitti. So there is not just Raffaello Napoleone and Agostino Poletto and Lapo Cianchi in charge of communication or marketing to take the decision, but we share with the community that is very close to us.
Are you all fashion people at Pitti Bimbo, or do you have different professions as well?
No, there are very little fashion people, in fact. Our marketing manager has a degree in philosophy, the same the communication and event manager.
Okay.
And I try to look mainly when we have to hire somebody, not in people specialized in fashion, people specialized in cleverness and curiosity, as I told you before. Yes. The idea of looking for something different, adding value to what we do. The good metaphor is sailing. I like very much sailing. And as you probably know, if you sail in the same direction of the others, and of course we are all on the same kind of category, probably you can, if the wind change, overlap somebody. So when we see that the direction is a bit the same, we do a stack, we change direction, and we look for another wind. And this is the metaphor, looking for something new. We think about all the Pitti like an interesting magazine that have to change issue after issue.
Yeah. That's an interesting comparison, actually, especially when you say magazine. Do we talk print magazine? Do we talk digital magazine, etc.? But it's the same.
Print,
you want a good
digital
flow.
And paper have to think exactly in the same way, but it's with a different instrument.
Yes. When we as Luna Media talk to our clients and to our readers, but especially to our clients, be it buyers, be it retailers, be it manufacturers, many, especially of the smaller ones or the new ones, obviously know quite a lot about Pitti, have been there, but are sometimes not entirely certain how it works. Can they simply, contact the Pitti Bimbo trade fair and say, we want this stand or we want that stand, and we come, in January or June? What kind of process do they have to expect? What kind of curating, for instance, takes place?
The word curating you use is the best to choose to explain. We think that a trade show needs a direction. We need a curator. We have to curate the way we present and we put together the companies. We know that each exhibitor like to be in one position, in one section. And sometimes we think, just a question of direction, that it could be better to be in another place. Also because we can record the passages, the way they follow. And sometimes our choices, I mean most of the time in fact, are the one that the exhibitor expect.
Okay.
And so we take risks, but in the meantime, due to the well-established experience, we have also very good results. And people is more and more trusting in what we decide to do and follow us.
Yes. Is there, only briefly, is there an overlap between Pittiuomo and Pitti Bimbo, that you have certain experiences which you could actually, exploit to the benefit of Pitti Bimbo?
Two different sectors.
It's really two different worlds. But in terms of stand positions,
in terms of market, sure, if the menswear is performing very well in specific markets, probably the children's is following too. It's a question of GDP, it's a question of mood of the market. So we have a stream to follow, and the streams are usually in the same direction. Not the same, but the same direction.
Coming back briefly to the question of potential exhibitors, if they apply for a stand at Pitti Bimbo, how long would it normally take to get the approval?
It's just a question of content, of quality, of creativity. The way the company is really presenting itself on the market. We evaluate in the technical committee each collection. If we don't know the collection, we ask them to send us the collection to check in the second technical committee. We have the first one, and then if necessary we have the second one checking deeper the collection. So we really take care about what we offer to the market.
Let's say compared to 2 or 3 years ago, the layout has changed a bit, but the brands as well. You have different brands which you didn't used to have. So some more kind of related areas, related to children's fashion, have joined. Is that that's the strategy as well?
The big brands are approaching children's wear is completely different in the last few seasons compared to a few years ago. In fact, the big brands, I mean the Lil Barretts or the Dolce & Gabbanas or the Cavalli or the Pucci that are not for the moment in the show, now are much more directly involved in the creativity and the distribution process than in the past. In the past, they used to sign a license, just take care about the feeding of the collection, and then let the licensee take care about the collection. Now they are directly involved because the image of the company has to be followed very closely, not just on the main lines, but in all the lines they have in the portfolio.
But in addition, new areas seem to be more present in terms of accessories or lifestyles. So again, there's a clear strategy behind that.
Always looking at the market, for sure the accessory is more and more interesting and important. The shoes, for example, are growing. They used to present in the other main shoe specialized
in Milano,
in Milan and Milan. But probably they do not have the market they can find here. And so they are asking us to present here. We are in very good relation with Mikan. They don't complain for this, but here is the right market for this kind of products. We are also working a lot on the design side of children's wear with small sections that probably will grow in the future, also because the old way of presenting children's wear in specialized boutiques is not anymore so attractive to the consumer, and so they have to add from editorial issues to objects and a bit of technology. And this is what we are trying slowly to do, because it's quite difficult to change completely the approach, but the owners of the different kind of retailers are always looking for something new, and we are trying to satisfy them.
Because the retail concept of many shops is changing as well. They are becoming more and more kind of concept shops, as it is called, i.e. not only present fashion, but all the little, I call it satellites, which go around the fashion, be it accessories, be it interiors, possibly even toys for the children, and so on and so forth. In order
the outdoor very nice section, small section.
You mentioned that research is becoming more important. how do you, what do you mean exactly? So,
It has been always important. We started in February 51 and did research in that period. I was not yet
it was
doing what
really
I'm
different,
doing.
yeah.
But in fact, we started doing research at the very beginning thanks to Mr. Giambattista Giorgini that looked for the 7 most interesting Italian couturiers that were on the way to pass being designers and then stylists. And this is our soul, our way of working. We have to look always for something new. The market is not anymore like it used to be in the 50s, where it mainly was Europe, then the States, and finally Japan. Now it's really global. So you need also to find out the offer that is interesting for each market. I mean, probably in China, you have to give an offer different from Russia, United States, and South America. So we need to find out a mix of products that can satisfy the expectation of all the markets.
Did you ever consider, like, other trade fair operating companies do, to expand Pitti into different markets?
No. In my opinion, people have to come here because the atmosphere you can live in the fortress and in Florence is not replicable anywhere worldwide. If you go to the States and New York and Las Vegas, you risk to be homologated. We need that the identity of our trade shows and the strategy we are applying of a real brand identity that we want to give to Pitti will be not so successful if we move where you can find very flat kind of offers. We have a company in our group, EMI, that organizes trade shows in the States, in Russia, in Korea, different countries, helping also to choose the best company. Like brand, we prefer to be seen just here in Florence, also because the numbers concerning the distributors in this field, the good numbers and the good distributors are not so big. And so we prefer to have them here. Eventually we can host them thanks to a very interesting project of incoming that the Italian Ministry of Economical Development is pushing with the Italian Trade Agency. And this helped us to invite close to 40-50 new buyers at Pitti Bimbo. And for Pittiuomo we have around per season 110 new buyers arriving. It is quite big.
Yeah, that's a big number.
And what is interesting is that when they start arriving for the first time, they continue in the future to come. Because they know that if they want to stay on the market, they need to be here.
Only as a matter of interest, what are the most important foreign markets for Pitti? In terms of exhibitors, in terms of visitors?
From a figures point of view, the main markets are really France, Germany, it has been Russia, now especially it's coming back again, and mainly, generally speaking, Europe. Europe is the main market for the Italian fashion export for men, women, and children. Then we have, of course, Far East growing, but in the last few years it's been dropping, and the United States. These are the three main. Then, of course, we have Japan, of course, we have Korea, but in terms of big figures, 55% of our exports is in the direction of Europe, not just for the internal European consumption, but for the huge tourism that is also a commercial tourism. Look at Italian fashion with high attention and a lot of
last question, if I may. When you plan ahead, what is for you as a trade fair organizer? What is the most important challenge that you are facing? What do you see as the big?
To be as much international as possible. From an offer point of view, a demand offer. Today is to be internationally in the agenda of the buyers and the exhibitors and the manufacturers.
You didn't really mention Asia. But Asia obviously is a growing market. It's a huge market in terms of numbers. Are you doing?
We organize press conferences. We promote ourselves. We have somebody working for us in promoting Pitti in China or in Japan or even in Korea. So we look to all the markets. We are not focused just on for instance, Outlook is not an easy market. Childrenwear especially. Not so easy to sell there.
Yes, absolutely. It's much more difficult than people think.
The Middle East market that I speak about before is one of the driving forces in the children's wear business. And we have a lot of Middle East buyers from Dubai and
Okay. Thank you very much
Thank you
indeed
very much.
for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.